I'm M Buell with M Buell Studio, and today I'm also here on behalf of the Woodworking Network. Today, the topic is downtime. What do you do with downtime in the shop? Are you utilizing it well? It doesn't have to be a negative thing. Let's talk about it. So when it comes to downtime, I want to be clear on how I'm defining this for you. I'm referring to downtime as not having any work in for 1 to maybe 3 weeks. Anything past that is a topic for a whole different discussion. That 1 to 3 week window where things can be slow or even dead, according to what jobs are in, can happen. And I don't want you to get discouraged. It can actually be a positive thing in the long run. I know that sounds ridiculous, but you got to take it from me a little bit here. I've been doing this for 13 years professionally. I've been where you are. And I want you to learn from my experiences so that you don't have to go have them. So let's get to it and talk about what we do with our downtime. So the first thing you can do with your downtime, and I can't believe I'm saying this because if you know me, it doesn't sound like something I'd say. Rest. It's okay to rest. It is okay to take 3 days, even a week, to let your body recover. Even if you're younger and you don't feel like you need it, there's so many times looking back where I wish I would have done that because it adds up, it's cumulative, okay? Also, running a business is stressful and it's okay to get out and just enjoy your life or your family for a week. Ain't gonna kill nobody. If you got no work in, go fishing, right? However, at some point, you gotta get back in there. So let's go look at it. What are we gonna do when we get back in? Okay. So whether you go get some rest during your downtime or not, you're either going to be staying in or you're going to get back in. Can't be gone forever. One way I like to utilize downtime when I have it, it's a great time to get in some new machinery. You know, in my experience, when you're getting in new machines, it always takes a little bit longer to get it dialed in, set up, and then you want to go through it and learn it. Learn it properly so that when you're busy and you're moving quick, you're not having to stop and read manuals. Like, learn the thing. It becomes a little second nature when you're working. I got this in the middle of a stampede of work, and I haven't really had a chance to fine tune it, to get like my depth adjustments right, to put some new sandpaper on, which I feel I've never done it, so it'll probably take a minute. You know, nothing major, but I also know it's going to take more time than I think it will. That's a great thing to use your downtime for. Second of all, getting new machinery. Usually, you either got some money saved up or you got to get some loans, right? So filling out paperwork, going to the bank, getting loans, waiting on approvals, getting that sent to the company you're buying the machinery from. Like this is time-oriented stuff. And when you're in the middle of being busy, that's a lot to distract you. So downtime's a great time to utilize going and upgrading some things and getting your shop layout right, and even doing dust collection, because that also, with big stuff, that requires reworking some things. So machinery, upgrades, maybe you're even just rearranging your setup in a better workflow. Great way to use your downtime. All right, another great use of downtime, and you're gonna love it, clean. And I don't mean wipe off your worktops. I do that every day. Anyone that's ever worked for me, you can ask them, or worked with me. I'm annoying about it. This thing is always clean. I like my stuff staying in nice shape and condition. I can see better, it's safer, and usually, if you're keeping it clean, it runs better because there's nothing lingering with it. But when I say clean in your downtime, I'm talking get in there. Like, get in there, clean out your cabinet. Look, I need to get in there. I haven't had downtime in a while, in my defense. Not complaining, it's a high-class problem, but get in and clean your machines, maintenance them, you know, take the hoods off of your planer, get underneath the joiner or in it, clean it out. Better to do it when you got them in it as opposed to having to do it when you don't. So get in there and clean, you know, and twice a year I usually do like, you know, a light sand and wax down of all my cast iron beds. But if I've got downtime, I'm gonna go ahead and check it and do it. Get it done. Great use of downtime. It's also a better way to familiarize with the machines, and maybe if there is something that is on the verge of going wrong, you'll catch it, because when you're in there cleaning it, you're looking at it, your hands are on it. So Clean. Clean your space. Deep clean. It's not crazy. It's actually something that I am a big fan of. Clean. So I don't know about you, but I can tell you from my experience, after I've done a deep clean, while I'm doing it, I usually remember a lot of like jigs, fixtures, or just storage options that have crossed my mind, during the mess I made that needs cleaning, that I, thought of doing to make the shop run better. So doing that in your downtime is a really big plus. It's going to make your life better in the future. So that's a lot of how I look at the use of downtime in a positive way. It doesn't have to be negative. It's more about, okay, what can I do now that's going to make the next job go even smoother? So like right now I've got a bunch of new shaper jigs and a bandsaw jig. Like I've got a lot of jigs I've got to find better storage for. They're not going to fit in what I call my overhead airplane cabinets. And veneer storage, I could use it, but I don't have the downtime right now. But when I do, that's top of my list because it's annoying to look at every day. So use that time to upgrade your workflow, to make your shop work better for you. Next idea I've got for how you can utilize your downtime is going to come as a shocking surprise. Because, you're a wood pro. Get better at being a wood pro. Think of aspects in your craft that you need to work on, or areas you need to improve, or areas you'd like to expand into from a skill set perspective. That's a wonderful use of downtime and a real obvious one, but it's worth being said. It's one of the things I love about this craft is that no matter how good you get, there's always another level. It never ends. This is jazz, So use that time to add to your skill set. That is also a great investment into future jobs. It's increasing your capabilities and what you can take on. It's also maybe giving you more tools to have available in your skill set to use in a job where you can move through certain jobs quicker than you think. There was one time I had some downtime and I switched over to learning more about Japanese tooling, like hand tools, and I've never gone back. I can't even tell you how much I love working with these tools, but it wasn't until I had a little time to actually work with them and learn them a little differently. Fantastic. So utilize that time. Utilize it to get better, because we can always be better. No one's above that. This is my favorite way to use downtime. You know that piece you keep seeing in your head that you just want to build? Go build it. It's the best. For me, it's what I call prototyping or exploring or just getting in and be creative for a little bit. It keeps your woodworking heart young. The longer you're in a career path, the more money and clients and dealing with the business aspect can sometimes muffle that passion. And for me, to get in and build something that I'm really excited about without, the constraints of deadlines and, what's it pay and yada, yada, to get in there and just do something for the love of it. It helps me rekindle that kind of flame. And ironically, usually when I prototype, it ends up being a piece that brings in business, and it always sells eventually. So it all works out, but take the time to just get in there and build that piece you want to build. I mean, we're woodworkers. I bet you there's some special board you've had left over from a job that you've been hoarding and saving for just the right piece. The time is now. Go build the piece. I've been hoarding some of this Brazilian rosewood. I've got solid chunks. I got a bunch of good veneers. I have ideas. When I get some downtime, not saying I'm asking for it, I'll be jumping on it. So go build that piece. Go remember why you love doing this, because I'm telling you, over time, it becomes a business, right? And so we can get lost in that. Utilize that time to just kind of re-spark. So if none of those suggestions sound good to you, I got one more. You're young wood pros, you're running a business. A lot of learning there. Heck, I've been doing this a while. I still learn. Use the downtime to work on aspects of your business that you've probably neglected while doing the woodwork. I know, not my favorite thing to hop on. Not my jam. I'm a make a mess kind of guy. However, marketing, budgeting, taxes, downtime can be very helpful. And using the time to work on your marketing isn't a bad thing. You're in downtime. eventually you do need to drum up some more work. So you have to start pushing on that a little harder when you're in downtime. My other suggestion during downtime is get out of the house, get out of the shop. Go network, go be around people. Just go spend time amongst the world. It's a good way to actually drum up some work. You never know. So, no matter what you choose to do with your downtime, if you're good at what you do and you keep showing up and you run an honest business and you work hard, downtime doesn't last long. And usually the longer you're doing this, the less of it you get. I don't, knock on wood, don't think I've had much downtime. Yeah, it's been a while. You know, if you're fortunate enough to keep going and succeeding, you will one day have probably a couple thoughts down the road where downtime sounds pretty good. That's a different topic for a different article and video. But anyway, I hope some of this might have been helpful. Take what works for you, leave the rest. See you next month.